guys, it's your girl Ayn, and you're watching Sunkissed Somewhere. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're an old subscriber, welcome back. My name is Ayn Bernos and I do videos on travel, beauty, and fashion 3 times a week, every single week, or when I can. For today's video, I am showing you guys how I lost weight. This video has been requested over and over by friends and family alike, and also viewers, of course, especially those who have known me since last year, especially December of last year. That was just my heaviest. And you guys have noticed how much I've shrunk in the past year, essentially. This was a gradual journey. It wasn't overnight, and I didn't abruptly go into fitness beast gym rat mode. It wasn't like that at all. And this was a gradual process. So I want to share with you guys all the changes that I've made to become a healthier and better and more active version of myself. So shall we begin? We shall. Okay, first off, I want to start with my food intake because I feel like that has had the most impact on my weight loss and healthy journey. I don't know what to call it because I don't really want to focus on weight because weight is a number and it's just, there are so many factors. So I don't want to focus on weight. I want to focus on the healthier lifestyle because that is the most important thing. You need to be healthy and you need to be active and you need to be able to do stuff. Weight is just a number to kind of measure that, but I don't like talking about weight. But again, the title of this video is how I lost weight because whatever. Stop. Let's continue. So number 1, food. The biggest problem for me was my rice intake because I just love rice so much, but also rice equals carbs, and I would consume more carbs than I could actually take care of, that I can manage. So what we did this as a family, so we started pre-portioning our rice. So let me explain that. Instead of getting straight from the rice cooker or from a platter, we would actually pre-portion our rice and have them in separate containers. So one container, like a Tupperware, would have 1 cup of rice, and we'd store them in the fridge, and then whenever it's time for dinner, we just get one and then bam. So for example, my brother, who is an athlete, would actually get 2 containers, so that means he gets 2 cups of rice. And then my mom and I would share 1 container. We'd have a half cup of rice each, which is great because we get to actually see how much we're taking in. And I feel like that is the biggest problem when we used to have platters and stuff, because I would just get and get and get, and at the end of dinner, it's just I've consumed so much and I'm dead. Number 2, I don't keep snacks in the house and we don't buy junk food. So this has been a thing ever since I was a child, but then whenever I would leave the house, like when I would be traveling, when I was in London, when I was in Japan, and I was living alone, it was bad because I had control over my groceries and I would always get junk food. Now I'm kind of owning my health, and whenever I can, I really won't. It's just, I've made it a conscious decision to just stop consuming so much junk food. Of course, there are times like I'd give myself a cheat day, like maybe twice a month, 4 times a month. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I really try to stay away from junk food because it doesn't fill me up that well as much as real food does. Also, I just feel terrible after. So, you know, I don't like the guilt of eating so much junk food. There you go. Also, fast food, not a fan anymore. Lastly, I keep bringing baon, or basically for my non-Tagalog speakers, baon means packed lunch or packed food. Bringing baon has helped me a lot, not only financially but also health-wise, because I don't get tempted to buy something from restaurants and stores or drive-through even. Having my own food packed from home has helped me really look at the ingredients and see what I am actually eating, and that's really important, especially if you want to be more conscious of what you're putting into your body. Okay, number 2, drink more water. I always have a bottle of water with me. This is not my cap. Somebody replaced it with the wrong one. It's pink, it should be pink. Anyway, I always have a bottle of water with me wherever I am, when I'm driving in the car, etc. I would always have water because drinking water helps fend away my cravings. So whenever I would crave, I would just drink and drink and drink, and I realized, oh my gosh, that was completely psychological, and I was just thinking that I was hungry. I wasn't really hungry. So yeah, it's just so easy to be excessive in terms of food intake, but you know, most times it's all in your head actually. Number 3, sleep. I started sleeping earlier and waking up earlier as well because before I left for Japan, I think, it was terrible. I would sleep at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7, and then I would wake up at like 3 in the afternoon, 2 in the afternoon, or lunchtime. And you know, it just, not only is it counterproductive, but it also messes up my eating routine and my eating time, my eating schedule. Yeah, it's so easy to romanticize and make it seem like, oh, look at me, I'm a hipster, I'm a night owl, but it's really not healthy, so try to veer away from that. I know I did. That was my lifestyle all throughout college, and now I'm just done. Okay, number 4 is exercise. Specifically, okay, this is what I did. Number 1, I learned how to run. I hate running so much. I used to hate it anyway. And eventually, I just really pushed myself and focused on that skill because running is a great way to keep your body healthy, and you know, it's the best cardio ever, except swimming. I love swimming too. But then running is really, you can do it from anywhere. I mean, even if you're traveling, you can run, definitely. You can do it from a treadmill if you don't want to go out. But then, you know, it's just, I mean, if you're not used to running, it just sucks, right? And I really didn't like it. But then now okay, here's what I did to actually start liking it. Instead of focusing on the time that I would spend running, I would focus on the distance. So maybe some of you already do this, but whatever, for those who don't, here's my advice, I guess, my unsolicited advice. Maybe you should focus on the distance that you're running. So for example, my target would be, my daily target, it used to be like a kilometer. I started with 1 kilometer and I couldn't even do that. And then eventually when I was picking up my pace and eventually learning how to run, eventually I moved from 1 kilometer to 1.5 to 3 kilometers per day. When I started, it was like, it took me 20 minutes to do that. I don't know, it took me like 30 minutes, 40 minutes because I would walk in between. But then eventually I was able to just run non-stop. You just set goals for yourself, just make them higher and higher as you go along. But when you start off, set realistic goals. Realistic goals that you can actually achieve, but also at the same time that will push yourself. So for me, that was the distance. I did that. Number 2, focus on skills instead of physical appearances. So by focusing on skills instead of physical appearances, I mean that your metric should not be what you look like, essentially. I mean, what you look like will be a byproduct of the whole process. But for me, it's much easier to focus on the skill that you're doing. For example, running, learn how to run, learn how to do a pull-up, learn how to do deeper squats, stuff like that. And when you focus on the action instead of focusing on what you look like in the mirror, it's just easier to become motivated because you can see that, oh my gosh, I am getting better. Because I mean, looking at the mirror and looking at the scale is just, sometimes it can be counterproductive, especially when you're starting out. I mean, you've been working hard for 2 weeks and you look at the mirror, oh my god, I look the same. And it feels terrible sometimes. So when you try to remove the focus from that negative spot, then you can continue focusing on the work and eventually the work will pay off. Trust me. Lastly, I did more fun outdoor physical activities with friends. So I got really into hiking this year. I have summited a good number of mountains this year and I'm gonna keep doing that. And then I also did the Spartan race and I did color run, and my siblings and I started rock climbing. So it's just a lot of fun stuff, you know? I love going out and having fun with my friends in like clubs and stuff, but also I like to keep a healthy lifestyle. So for example, 2 weekends I would spend in the city going out, etc. And then 2 weekends I would spend like on a surf trip or in the mountains. And it's amazing because you get to enjoy yourself, you get to enjoy the company of the people around you while also actually getting active. And that is the most important thing. Make your exercise fun and exciting, and eventually you will actually crave for it and not become a chore, because I have spent way too many years looking at exercise like a chore when it shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be. It's so fun feeling healthy and feeling like you can do whatever it is that you have to do. So like, you want to climb Mount Pulag, sure, whatever, your legs can take it because you've been exercising. Isn't that I feel like that's such a great way to look at things, and that's just a really great way to get yourself into doing more physical stuff. It's like training for stuff. Except you don't know what you're training for, but when it gets there, when the opportunity is presented to you, you can definitely do it because guess what? You're active and you're ready for it, right? Again, this is me when I was miserable and unhappy and just mediocre. And this is me now trying to do better. I'm not there at all yet, ever. That's why I was kind of iffy about making this video. Am I even qualified? But then, you know, I mean, that's a good thing. I'm on my way there. So you guys can definitely catch up and join me. Anyway, so that's it for my how I lost weight video. I hope you guys enjoyed this and you got something out of it. I really appreciate the time that you spent here on my channel, so thank you so much. That's it for now. I hope I see you guys again soon. Bye! Stay confident!
No, no, no.